Wonderful. So on behalf of the organizing committee, Dr. Elena Leslie, who is here with us today, as well as Dr. Seinu Thine, who is unfortunately not able to join us today, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the Southeast Asian Mental Health Initiative Award Ceremony, where we gather today to celebrate the accomplishments of 5 scholars from Cambodia, Burma, and Vietnam. As you might recall, SEAMH organized its inaugural conference in September and gathered over 850 registrants and some 60 presenters. From these presentations, we selected the best 5 papers and presented the scholars with travel awards so that they may present their work at an international conference of their choosing. And those papers will also soon appear in a special issue of Social Science and Medicine Mental Health. So please keep an eye out so that you may too read the excellent work that is being represented here today. Throughout the next hour together, you will have the chance to hear from these scholars about the work they do. Programmatically, I will be introducing each scholar, screening a video that they had put together, and presenting them with a SEAMH award certificate. You will then have the chance to hear from each of these individuals for about 5 to 10 minutes about what they've been up to since the conference. So I will be going and introducing each scholar in alphabetical order. And without further ado, please allow me to introduce Gung Lei, who is a lecturer and researcher at the University of Social Sciences and Humanities in Ho Chi Minh City. He completed his master's degree in National Yangming University in Taiwan in international health, and his bachelor's of arts in psychology at Vietnam National University, Ho Chi Minh City. And I also hear it's his birthday, so happy birthday, and thank you so much for joining us on such a special day. And I'll first be screening the video that you had made so that people can know a little bit more about you. Let's see. Here we go. Let me know.
My name is Lena, and you can call me Kevin. I am working as a lecturer and researcher in the Department of Psychology at the University of Social Science and Humanities, Vietnam National University. My research team focuses on the longitudinal effect of the adverse childhood experience. So we investigate the connection between the unstable life change of the children and their future mental well-being. Last year, I was providing support for COVID-19 patients and their relatives related to the mental health problem and has insight of what mental health can be triggered by the past event and impact negatively on their physical status. In my first research, we found out that the timing exposure can make significant change in their future life, especially during the COVID-19. Furthermore, I'm also in charge of being the project leader of 2 educational projects for Vietnamese teachers about the substance use prevention and suicide prevention in students, with the support of Wisely program and the Rich Fund. In the future, we will continue to conduct several public mental health projects to mitigate the effect of the adverse life event in the life of Vietnamese people, such as the psychological first aid, trauma-informed education, and other psychoeducational training with all students in the department. In my intention, I want to localize and simplify the knowledge and skills of mental health support for all teachers, parents, and anyone willing to learn in Vietnam. And like others, after a long and hard-working day with a lot of responsibility, I usually play with my puppy, read some comics, and play some games. Sometimes with some stressful situation, I will cook dishes for my family member and friends, and also college. Believe me, it's fascinating for sure. And at this change, I really want to say thank to Dr. Katie Chang, Candace, and also Elena for your encouragement and also support me in the Southeast Asian Mental Health Conference. I love it so much. Thank you.
Wonderful. Such a brilliant video and healthy lifestyle too, it seems. So without further ado, please let me present this award certificate. And if you could all join me in congratulating Dr. Lee or Mr. Lee, that would be a little bit too loud. Wonderful. Thank you so much. All right, now let's hear from the award himself.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Khương from Vietnam, and I really am excited about when I receiving the news from Dr. Katie Chan, because it's very the first prize of the conference that I joined, and I got the scholarship about the joining all the conference. And also today, my birthday, it's very a lot of emotional, I think, and it makes me feel it's very honored to join with you guys, and also heard a lot from your words. And also, I really love to work with you in the future if we have any change of that. Because in Vietnam nowadays, I am also I am also a research assistant, and also as the secretary to the director of the Child Behavior Research Institute in the Vietnam National University. So I really want to conduct the future research about the negative life event on the children in Vietnam, and also want to find out what kind of the social support or the other intervention can support for those child, especially when they experience the negative life event. So that's in my future orientation. And I really want to learn from you guys, and also want to collaborate with you guys in different universities in Vietnam and other countries, especially in Cambodia or Thailand. And we can do something for the Southeast Asia, and we can do something that very wonderful and also very practical for our citizens. Yeah, that's my objective.
Wonderful. Thank you so much to Mr. Lee, and for and hopefully if anyone is interested in collaborating, which I mean, I am certainly very interested, please do reach out to him. Such an amazing scholar and surely an amazing researcher. And Dr. Leslie, would you like to say a few words?
Sure. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, I just wanted to thank everyone for being here today as one of the co-founders of the Southeast Asian Mental Health Initiative. We were really excited by the papers that we received, and it was a very hard choice to determine the winners, but we really felt that the 5 papers that are represented today were really very high quality. And we were really happy to receive them, and we're also looking forward to publishing them in the special journal issue of Social Science and Medicine Mental Health, which I will be in touch with you about the updates regarding that in the next couple weeks. And also, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
No doubt the new age will bring exciting new opportunities and many more accomplishments. Thank you so much. And I will be introducing now the next award winner, who is Sai Nene Win. And Sai Nene Win is currently working as a mental health counselor and psychology teacher at Mingde Chinese High School in Myanmar. He recently graduated with his bachelor's in applied psychology from Southwest University, China, and will be starting his master's program very soon in the National Taiwan Normal University. So let me just play the great video that he put together for us, and then we can hear from him.
Hello, my name is Sai Nene Win. I'm 23 years old and just got my bachelor degree in applied psychology from Southwest University, China. And I'm going to pursue my master degree in counseling psychology at National Taiwan Normal University.
Did you get that?
I'm currently working as a mental health counselor and volunteering as a psychology teacher in the Chinese High School in Lashu, Myanmar. My research focused on discovering protective factor or mental distress level of Burmese people facing political life events. And that factor is belief in a just war. In this research, I collected 1,688 valid data from 40 regions and provinces in Myanmar, and found that people who have higher belief in a just war score have less mental distress level. I have already presented this research in SEAMH Mental Health Conference. My research is about psychometric properties of symptom checklist 90R and its shortened versions in Myanmar undergraduate students. In this research, I translated the worldwide using mental health skill into Burmese and analyzing its validity and reliability, which this research article is under submission to academic. Another undergoing research is using the skill that I have been translated into Burmese and comparing the data from Myanmar undergraduate students before and after the COVID-19 and Myanmar military's coup. Outside of my student and research life, I'm very interested into coffee culture and watching documentary. Thank you for your time and glad to share myself at this time. Goodbye.
Thank you so much to Mr.
Hello, my name is
Mr. Quinn. And let me now present you with the award certificate. And thank you again for coming. For everyone for coming and joining us. I ask that aside from the award winners, if you could keep your mic muted, that would be wonderful, just to facilitate things a little bit. So let me just share screen here again. And let me again present to you this award certificate and congratulate you on your accomplishments. Please join me in giving a round of applause to Mr. All right, let us hear a few words from our very own award winner.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Katie, and thank you, SEAMH Mental Health Conference, give me that big prize. It will be a little bit noisy here because there's a power outage here, and we only have around 4 to 6 hours electricity in Lashu, in my area. So I'm at the cafe. Like I said in the video, in the presentations, my work is about protective factors of Burmese people facing political life events, and that protective factor is belief in a just war. And these people I have been presented in SEAMH Mental Health Conference. And another paper that is about the psychometric properties of symptom checklist 90R. And I have been rejected for the academic journal about these people. So just got my rejected letter from the submission, and I will try, maybe I will try another way to like adjust that people, adjust the article and submit to another academic journal. Yeah, and I'm currently like taking a gap year and going to pursue my master's degree next year. So at this time, like within this year, my plan is that I will collect, like I will do counselings, and I will collect experiences, and also I will conduct some research. I will conduct some research, and my maybe my target is going to submit 1 or 2 paper and publish it smoothly. Thank you, and okay,
Yeah.
that's all right. I'm a little bit nervous.
Yeah, thank you so much. And really excited. And of course, if you ever want to talk to or get any thoughts from Dr. Leslie or myself about the paper, just to assist with the journal submission, I'm sure we would be more than happy to help with that, because it is a great paper and we would love to see it get published. So yeah, thank you so much. And I hope you are able to do a lot of great research in this gap year and also to enjoy the coffee culture.
Yeah.
Amazing. Dr. Leslie, did you want to say anything?
Sure. Well, I just wanted to congratulate you. And also I wanted to note that obviously you've been working under very difficult circumstances. And you noticed noted the blackouts that are happening currently, that you're there, the limited amount of electricity and sometimes limited access to internet and those sorts of things. And that just makes doing research and writing and publishing and editing all the more difficult. So I think you are especially to be commended, given everything that all of the challenge you've had to face. And yes, I agree with Dr. Chang that we'll be happy to talk with you about revising the paper if you want to get some feedback on that.
Amazing. And let me now introduce our third award winner, who is Ngun Nguyen. And of course, she is here today also with her team. So Ngun is a psychology undergraduate at Fulbright University, Vietnam, and she is a scholar of many talents, involved in research with the University of Minnesota, Duluth, also here with us at SEAMH, and also at Stanford. And she is currently applying to PhD programs at the moment. So if you are evaluating PhD applications, please do be on the lookout for hers. And please let me first screen her video, and then we can hear from Ngun.
Hi, my name is Ngun Nguyen. I'm a senior undergraduate student majoring in psychology at Fulbright University, Vietnam. I'm here on behalf of my teammates, Anh Nguyen, Tam Phạm Nguyen, and Quang Lê. At the Southeast Asian Mental Health Conference, we presented our research looking at the perceptions, attitudes, and prevalence of domestic violence. In this study, we found that Vietnamese university students demonstrate high awareness and low acceptance of domestic violence, both of which are an improvement compared to findings from studies in the last decade. However, this awareness is not consistent across dimensions of domestic violence. So students were more likely to recognize actions belonging to physical, emotional, and sexual violence. Meanwhile, financial abuse and threats of violence frequently get overlooked and unreported. Alarmingly, we also found that more than half of the participants report knowing a perpetrator or a survivor of domestic violence in their immediate social network. So building on this knowledge, in the future, I would like to study the intergenerational transmission of violence in Vietnam and its impact on the child's developmental processes and mental health outcomes. My team and I would like to send our thanks to our mentors and friends at Fulbright, especially Dr. Kim Chan and Dr. Chiu Sri Kanchapon, who have continuously pushed us to set high standards for doing research, while also offering encouragement along the way. And in the future, I hope that the mental health and social support research network in Vietnam and Southeast Asia will continue to grow and provide early career researchers like us with more opportunities to learn.
Brilliant.
Hello, my name is Bích Panya.
We'll be hearing from him shortly.
You keep playing Panya's video.
Yes, YouTube definitely wants us to introduce him as soon as possible. But before we do so, let us first congratulate Ngun and present her with her award certificate, which, by the way, when I see you guys either in Vietnam or Cambodia or Burma or wherever, I will definitely have a physical copy ready to hand out. So let me just present to you your award certificate, and please join me in applauding and celebrating Ngun and her team. Brilliant accomplishments. All right, well, let's hear from Ngun and her team and find out what they've been up to.
Thank you, Katie. Hi, everyone. So my name is Ngun. And as you can see here, I'm joined by my team. So you can see their names here, Đăng Quang, Tam Phạm, and Anh Nguyen. And yeah, we are a group of undergraduates at Fulbright University, Vietnam. And this is actually our first time presenting together at a large scale conference. So it's a bit new for us, but the journey overall has been really amazing, and we receive a lot of support from the conference. So to talk a bit about the project, it is actually initially developed to support Hopebox, which is a local organization in Vietnam that provide vocational support for intimate partner violence survivors. And yeah, one thing, carried one another, and we end up presenting at the conference. Many of us are actually looking for post graduation research opportunities and options for graduate school right now. So please contact us if you have any open positions or any chance for collaboration. Thank you.
Would any individuals in Yun's team also like to say anything?
Yes, also feel free to introduce yourselves or say anything about yourself since you were working as a team.
Okay. So first of all, I want to thank you for this big opportunity that we feel like it's like an encouragement for us, because we just started out this project as a group work, and we just expect that it will get an A for us. We don't expect that it will take us that long to go to the conference and get prize, and we feel like it's a big encouragement for us because we are the beginners, and we think that we will continue with our research project. So we individually have thesis research project right now. I'm working on a research about the STEM Vietnamese women experiences of workplace sexism, in which I will examine the frequency of sexist experiences and how those experiences it impact the woman mental health outcome. And I also know that other people in my group also had to enjoying project of their own. And I think the skills and the experiences that we learn from our project about domestic violence really help us a lot to continue with our thesis project and also other projects in the future. And again, I feel very thankful for having a wonderful team, and also got the chance to present at the conference.
Yeah, I guess I share the same sentiment with everyone that has mentioned so far. I just want to say that this has truly been very amazing and surprising for us as well, I think, for all of my teammates. And my biggest takeaway is that, because even though currently we have very different interests, I think we had a very amazing team working experience. And that has been a very big lesson for me, because I feel like research can never be done on your own. And that will be something that I take away from this conference and this award, which has been a great encouragement for our team. Thank you very much.
Yeah, my teammates have already wrapped up my emotions as well. I feel really thankful for this opportunity to be here today with my wonderful teammate, and I really appreciate the experience that the HM has given us, and we really learn a lot from the process, like working with each other, and also receive a lot of mentorship from our faculties at school and also the mentors here. So thank you a lot, and yeah, I hope we can see all of you somewhere in the future.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. And we hope to continue to involve you in SEAMH. And again, as they all noted, they are graduating soon. So these young scholars are available as grad students, research assistants, as collaborators. So do reach out to these very talented young students.
And I just also wanted to congratulate you all and say I thought it was really impressive how you all worked as a team together. And we really enjoyed reading your paper, and especially the idea of sort of awareness and perceptions of domestic violence was a topic that I thought was really interesting and important. And I haven't worked much in Vietnam, but I have in Cambodia. And I know that it's something that's been a priority issue with a lot of the mental health workers that I've worked in Cambodia, is the idea of awareness raising about intimate partner violence, and also sort of what constitutes intimate partner violence, because there can be a broad range of opinions on that matter.
Mhm.
So thank you and congratulations.
Yes. And hopefully you'll be able to connect with people here and expand out those collaborations. I think there's a lot of exciting work, particularly on intimate partner violence now in Vietnam. And for instance, Hanoi Medical University recently developed its T32 program focused on that with NIH funding. So that might be something to also look into and consider. So next, I'd like to welcome our next award winner, who is Buna Poon, who is a lecturer at Royal University of Phnom Penh, a psychologist consultant at Mary Knoll Mental Health Cambodia, and a training coordinator at EMDR Cambodia. He recently completed his PhD in child and adolescent clinical psychology at Vietnam National University, Hanoi, and previously completed a master's in clinical psychology and a BA in English and psychology at the Royal University of Phnom Penh. So I will now show you a video that Dr. Poon had put together, and then afterwards we can hear a few words from him.
Hi, my name is Buna Poon. I am a clinical psychologist and researcher at Mary Knoll Mental Health. My role here is to support staff providing clinical supervision and counseling to the patient and family under projects. Our Mary Knoll Mental Health, we are aimed to supporting poor people, especially with severe mental illness, to get treatments and to increase their livelihood and well-being. We have 3 main programs, including community mental health literacy program, treatment program, and livelihood program. The community mental health literacy program aims to increase the mental health awareness in the community by providing psychoeducation to adults, to children, to local authority, to health center staff, and peer support network. Treatment program, we offer psychiatric treatment by supporting people with severe mental illness to receive treatment at hospital. And our social worker will assist the patient and family to meet a doctor and get medication, and also providing home visit. Livelihood program is one of the important programs providing grant to a family and people with severe mental illness who recover to get a job or to get a business in order to generate income to support their living conditions. Along with our activity, we also have research. So we conduct research with severe mental illness family, exploring psychosocial distress, and want to know the strength, the weakness, and how to improve our service. So far, we have published our research to international publication, and also we submit our research to SEAMH conference where we just received award today. I hope through our strong collaboration and support, we will build more research capacity and our clinical profession. Besides my working here, I also teaching at university, providing supervision, providing research thesis supervisor to the master student. Thank you.
Amazing. Such a professionally produced video and offers such a holistic perspective into the program itself. So let me present you with the award certificate, and then please again join me as you have in applauding Dr. Poon's accomplishments. And we are honored to have him today. Let us hear a few words from Dr. Poon himself.
Hello, hi, Kati and Oz. So thank you for this opportunity. When I look at my videos, I feel anxious and forget to breathe, you know. So it was a great opportunity to attend the SEAMH conference. So it give us a way to bring our work to the stage, and that we hardly find the stage to present our works from Cambodia. And I would like to convey this award to our team. So I think we have some of them here that join us to write the papers. So we have like Chanton, Liam from Marinol, and Kevin that joining with us. You know, we in Cambodia, we have a few NGO working with mental health and even less research about mental health issues in Cambodia. So our topic, we focus on perception and attitude toward mental illness in Cambodia. And we want to explore stigma around mental illness, especially around caregivers. We continue doing more research after the conference. So now we have a clear picture for further research projects that we just having meeting and working on the research proposal. So we want to explore how the program is very important to support the severe mental illness people and their family, and how the livelihood program that we offer to the families, to the patient, can increase the quality of life and the well-being of the patient and the family itself. And what I'm really impressed about the conference is that we have, as a young practitioner, and also researcher, we had opportunity to learn through the conference and through the feedback of the committees, and also opportunity to get our paper published very soon through the conference. So I'm very thankful, and thanks to Kati and all the co-founders of this conference. And I look forward that we will have more like opportunity to get engaged and present our paper in the conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Bona. I'm not sure where that background noise was. I just wanted to say congratulations. And Bona is someone who's been really an instrumental part of SEAMH from the beginning. He has been working as a research assistant, and I don't really know how he does everything that he does, because he is a lecturer, he's working for Marinol Mental Health, he's also working with the EMDR Association of Cambodia, and in addition to working with us, working on a project with the University of Virginia as well in Cambodia. So it's very impressive. You've done a lot of great work, and I also know that I haven't seen some of the other organizations that you work with, but I've seen some of the work that Marinol does on the ground, and how meaningful that is, and how very, very community-based it is. And I was really impressed when I was in Cambodia by the work that the Marinol psychoeducation teams did. And I guess Father Kevin and Chantorn are also joining us today, and they also worked with you in the research projects, as I understand. So congratulations to everyone. The paper was really very high quality, and we look forward to publishing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you so much. And it's so amazing just to see the amount of talent that there is, and just we're so, I think, reading the papers, amazed. And I think I would be really excited to see where that livelihood program or intervention goes. I think there is not enough mental health and psychosocial support interventions that have been systematically evaluated in Southeast Asia. So I think this will be such an amazing contribution to the field of global mental health generally, and then to the field in Southeast Asia specifically. And last but not least, I would like to introduce the award winner that YouTube has wanted us to feature for many, many times, which is Panha Pick, who is currently a clinical supervisor and counselor at TPO Cambodia, and he is currently completing his PhD at Vietnam National University, Hanoi, and he holds a bachelor in psychology and an MA in public health from the University of Cambodia. Please allow me to finally play this excellent video to you. 1 second.
Hello, my name is Pick Panya. I am a PhD candidate in international relations from the University of Cambodia, and I am currently working with Transcultural Psychosocial Organization in Cambodia. In my PhD research, I am interested in how psychological pain influence on foreign policy decision-making. In order to see the level of psychological pain of policy decision-maker, of course, we need to adapt an existing psychological pain tool that already developed from other countries to see its consistency in Cambodian context. Furthermore, I would like to explore on how a selected scale associated with depression, anxiety, and stress, and the broken courage called Basba inventory, a Cambodian specific syndrome of stress developed by Cambodian researchers Dr. Chim Sutira. To find out about question, I selected SEAMH scale with 13 items, and it is a self-report which developed by Ronald or Holdens for the study. The results show that reliability of this scale is very high and strong, with convex alpha is 0.92, bigger than 0.7. In conclusion, an adapted SEAMH scale can be recommended as a tool to access psychological pain in Cambodian context, as well as to predict depression, anxiety, stress, and bad spot. In my free time, I love to take care of animals such as chicken, swan, ducks with my kids, as well as taking care of sweet like birds. I also love planting organic vegetables as well. All these activities make me and my kids happy and fun together.
Great. And please now allow me to present the award certificates to Mr. Pick and Panha Pick. And please again, join me in celebrating and congratulating him. All right, let us hear from Panha Pick himself.
And hello, can you hear me? I just checked whether you can hear me well or not.
Oh yes, can
Oh
hear you.
yeah, we can hear you.
Thank you, and thank you very much, and hello to everyone, and hello to Dr. Kathy and Frank, and also Dr. Elena. And today I'm so happy and for this award, and it is very excited and I'm very happy for me and to get this award, and particularly attended with the SEAMH conference. And I can see that my video is 2 times appear on the on the screen before my turns. Yeah, and for this award, I'm so proud for that, and this is very, I would say, like without hard work, never success. So this article is my first article, and also for first international competition academic as well. And then I got the opportunity to get this award. It is my pleasure and very proud of that on behalf of Cambodian people, and also families, and also my colleagues, and my university, as well as and my workplace, TPO Cambodia. And I'm so proud for that. This award is for everyone, in Cambodia, including family, including researchers, and as well as other scholars in Cambodia. So I'm so excited, and then I can share some story because I'm the last one for this during this event. I can take a little bit more time to share some experience. In fact, I feel at the beginning I didn't want to submit for my article for the competition. So because I thought that maybe my paper is not good enough and not qualified enough to for the competition. And then one of my colleagues say, brother, you work very hard on this article, so you have to try, you have to submit it. And I also asked my co-author as well as the words of a article is not completely following the requirement of the papers, and then I have to revise and then to work it again. And my guidance from our co-author, my co-author suggested, so I have to revise, and then I said that so now let's try. Let's try. And then I try, and then I submitted after the conference. And I feel a little bit hope that I got this award. And I wait for quite a long time to get the results. And one day, I think around this time, and then I working, and then I just click the email, and I got the email from Dr. Katrin Chang. Congratulations. And then I jump up from a chair, and it's surprising me, and I'm very excited. Oh, I'm so happy. And then I had my colleagues that, oh, my paper is now as like accepted as like a winner. I'm very very surprised and very happy for that. And that is the how I feel about this award. That is to show about the how we work hard to get this award. And it's not easy to get it, so we have to work hard in order to success what we would like to have it. So, and let's say about the experience as like a young researcher. So I'm a little bit old, but I'm a young researcher, old but young researcher. So we need, even though old does not mean we cannot learn. We have to move forward. We have to study. We have to do a research. In fact, I would like to correct a little bit. I'm not yet get the PhD, so I'm in the process of doing my research. So this award is one of the tip of my research paper, my research proposal. So in what I dream is, I would like to explore, to answer my question is, how does psychological pain influence on foreign policy decision maker? Because I think that is the question I would like to explore to get the answer. So in order to see the level of the pain, the psychological pain, we need to develop or adapt the existing scale already from other country to Cambodian context. So that's why I work hard on that. So that is the first step to move forward. And for my next research, and my next step is to look for how the psychological pain influence on foreign policy decision maker. So that is my final objective of my dissertation for PhD. But unluckily, in our university, particularly my scholarship term finished. So I have to pay for the university to complete my course, to complete my PhD. So then that is if SEAMH conference have opportunity that I can apply or look for the fund to continue for my PhD, it will be lovely. And in terms of technical support, I can pay somehow to my university, but need technical support because I have different background. I have in psychology, I have bachelor degree in psychology, I have master degree in public health, and now I continue for a PhD in international relations. So it is different field. So I have to bring it, how to bring it together. So that is for the next dream that I would like to see. Thank you for all and awardees and also organizers and our committee members. And for today that we celebrate our awards for our awardees for this year. Thank you very much. Wish you all have happiness and for Merry Christmas and for upcoming New Year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Panha. That was such a lovely speech and such an encouraging story too. And I really hope you'll continue to do research, because we were just so impressed by your paper, and it was such a great mark of just research scholarship, I think. And just I think that we hope to see many more papers and studies from you, and that you'll continue to develop to be a research leader in Southeast Asia alongside many of the scholars here today. And I also just wanted to say that it's, I think that this group will surely provide opportunities for technical collaborations, and perhaps many opportunities for you in the future as you continue going along your academic career. Dr. Leslie?
Yes, well, thank you, Panya, for your story. And yeah, no worries about going a little bit long, because we've got a little bit of time. And I really enjoyed your video too, and especially your sort of home life and self-care mechanisms of spending time with the kids and animals and gardening and everything like that. I thought that was all really lovely. And so I've known Panya, I think, since about 2016, maybe was the first time we met, when I was coming to Cambodia and doing some preliminary research to try to find out more about what was happening with mental health there. And I've been, as you know, really impressed by the work of TPO Cambodia, another organization that's really been doing community-based mental health services. And it's such an important area to be involved in. And then also the idea of, adapting interventions to different cultural environments is very important. It's something that Dr. Trang and I have been particularly interested in, since our background is anthropology. And so trying to figure out, how do you take something that's a tool or a measure from one society and then move it into another society, and is it viable there, and how can you make it viable? And so that's one of the reasons I think that this paper was very important. And I know in general, it's an issue that TPO has been concerned with, especially with Dr. Sotira Chim's work on Boxbot, and then also creating the Boxbot inventory, which is another Cambodian specific tool for measuring psychological distress. So anyway, I just wanted to congratulate you, and we're very excited to working with you in the future in different capacities.
Extremely excited. So we do have a few minutes. And so before I close out, I did want the opportunity for those in the attending audience, if they have any questions for any of our award winners, now that you've had a chance to know them a little bit more. If you have any questions, you can either raise your hand and I can call on you, or you can feel free to type your answer into the chats, and I can read aloud those questions. And please let us also know which award winner you're specifically wanting to ask.
Yeah, and I also just wanted to add that award winners, feel free to ask other award winners questions if you want to, because this is the first time probably many of you have had to interact amongst each other. And so perhaps you have questions about other people's research and what's happening in their own countries.
Perhaps I can start just in terms of, and a question I'd love to pose to you guys, to the award winners is, I think in hearing through the videos and some of what you guys were saying about things that you're currently working on, there seems to be a lot of synergy and a lot of opportunities for collaborations. Do you see any potential threads that you could would want to pursue with some of the award winners here today? And yeah, like what has jumped out to you in the context of today's session?
any sort of points of similarity or difference that you can see between the kind of research approaches or topics that people are working on?
Oh, yes.
Kung has his hand raised.
Yeah. Currently in Vietnam, I also working as a secretary to the director of the CBRS, the Institute Research Institute in the University of Social Science and Humanity in Vietnam. And I really would like to call up your attention about when you have any event or when you have any conference, or especially when you have any research idea, you can collaborate with us. We can discuss further, and also we can conduct the collaborative research with you guys, and we can do something for the Southeast Asia. Yeah, so I will send my contact into the chat box and hope to receive your future research idea.
Yeah, that's wonderful, Kung. And I would also like to say, and you know, if there's any award winners, feel free to interrupt me. But I think in terms of synergy, I could definitely see, for instance, these connections between, you know, Kung's work and the Fulbright's team in terms of thinking about intimate partner violence, for instance, and its early exposures. So we know, for instance, that, young boys who are exposed to physical and sexual abuse are 14 times more likely to perpetrate themselves in adulthood. So thinking through how can we disrupt these cycles of violence. And I think there's also a lot of interest and a lot of funding opportunities for multi-country work. So if you could connect, for instance, to the folks in Burma or to Cambodia and think about, okay, well, if we understand the epidemiology, if we understand the mechanism, can we better intervene through like these thriving programs, livelihood programs, for instance, to reduce violence? I think that would be extremely exciting, at least from a from an outsider's perspective. So we do have a question from Kathy, and Kathy is other Kathy, not me, not speaking in third person here, is interested in asking to all the award winners, what first made you interested in the work that you do?
Yeah, and that's funny because I was actually going to ask a similar question. I wanted to know, how did they get interested in mental health? How did they want to, first make the decision to start working in mental health? Because it hasn't necessarily been a traditional field that people go into in Southeast Asia. Looks like Kung raised his hand again.
Yes. Yeah. When my student and also my colleague asked me about why I really want to do something in the mental health, especially for the children, I think it's because of my past experience, because I also live in the very traditional family, and my family has some problem, and that is the story. I really want to do something for the negative life event, that the child experience from that, and I really want to see how can make me to change my life in the future, and how I can do it for my clients. So that's the reason. It's from my family background and also from my very unique experience. I really want to do that for the general life to my clients. Yeah.
That's very good to know. Yeah, so you had a personal experience that motivated you to go in that direction. Buna or Panya, I don't know if you have any thoughts about what inspired you to go into mental health work. It looks like Buna raised his hand.
Yes, I think this is a very good question and have been asked so many times for me. Actually, I started working with mental health fields in 2010, and then so we 2011 we start like a project we call Mobile Team for Mental Health, and we go outreach to the communities and we try to raising awareness on mental health knowledge and also supporting people with severe mental illness. And I realized that there's a big need in Cambodia in terms of providing like community mental health service, because there's a lot of stigmas around mental illness, so people not seeking proper treatments or maybe they are seeking different treatment that are not really helpful for them. And like after human resources capital, that most people who can train are only working in the clinics or in the capital city, not working in the community. So by heart, so and then by our experience, so it really keep me working here until now. So you know, like helping poor people to get access to the treatment and well-being is very important.
Thanks. Yeah, and as I mentioned, I've seen some of the work the mobile team did, and it's really great community-based work. I think Pan raised his hand. Yeah.
And thank you for giving me the time for sharing what my interest in the work. In fact, I am interested in the field of psychology since I study at a psychology bachelor degree, and I love that major because on that time I thought that psychology, what is that psychology is about? And then I start to understand, I start to try to understand what is it. But when I look at the book, psychology book is very colorful and very good books, and then English books. And then I start fall in love with psychology, and then I start to study. And then my friend asked me, what major you study now? I said, I study psychology. Huh? You study psychology? It's crazy. A crazy major. And then he told me this way. But it was quite a long time ago. And then later on, when I start working, and my work, my first working with in the field of mental health is working with HIV people. And then there are a lot of problems. There are a lot of mental health issues. And then I working with that, and then I see all the time. I feel pity on them, and then that is make me feel like psychology is very important. And then working with the mental health as well. And then like other already said, along with the life experience, we also suffer as well. We have the problem as well, and then we know how hard we are to overcome all the problems, all the emotion we have. So this kind of experience motivated me to work and support for people who suffer in the mental health. So all our life, I can say, you all also challenged with in the life as well. But you know how to deal with that. And then we know from the theory, we know from our experience. And that is what I love involved with this work to support people with the mental health suffering. And that is what I interest in. Thank you.
Thank you, Panya. And it was funny you mentioned, I don't consider you old because you're about my age, that you were older, but an early career scholar. But I think that that's great, even though I don't consider you old at all. And because people, can bring at different life stages, can bring different perspectives, to this kind of research. And I think that can be really important to bring that past experience into your research projects.
I see that we have Sai Nene Win.
Yeah, so let me share about my journey about choosing the psychology as my major in bachelor degree. So first of all, I choose a psychology major because I want to know people more and also to know more about myself. So that's why I choose psychology. And also about the research, there's a huge gap or delay in the research area in Myanmar. I mean, the research process and the research ability or quality of research conducted in Myanmar. So that's why my very first research is about just simply translated the skills, the mental health skills into Burmese, and so I can provide the skill to use in Myanmar, and they can use that skill that have been translated and make assessment or using that skill in clinical area and also in another research. And my second research is about how the big environment affect individual. So you guys might know that the political environment of Myanmar is really really bad or really healthy, I can say. So how these political life events like affect individual and in their mental health level, and this is my interest area. And about that's my research part. And also for my career, I choose to be a mental health counselor as I start my journey in the psychology area. As I said before, I want to know people more and also to know more about myself. So so I think this is like important things, learning about the counseling psychology. You should know more about yourself and also and that you can help other. Yeah, that's about my that's about why I choose psychology as my major.
That's so great, Sainene, and I think it would be, and I think the work that you're doing now and the training that you're acquiring will go such a long way in terms of building up that mental health and psychosocial support infrastructure in Burma, so that there can be that rigorous work that is done, and that there can be culturally appropriate interventions and programs for Burmese people in the country. So I think you are definitely leading the way for that. So it's great that we have you here today. Could we hear, would anyone on the Fulbright team like to say anything before we wrap up?
Sure. I feel like I have so many similarities with like everyone here. I feel like we do share the same concerns and the same start in psychology as well. For me personally, I think I got interested in psychology because, well, psychology itself sounds a bit intimidating because it is unfamiliar in Vietnam. But then if we really think about it, then it really is everywhere, especially for Southeast Asian countries. I feel like there has been a lot of atrocities that took place in our histories, and none of that was very studied very well. And then even though there are many intergenerational impacts on future generations, we don't really understand what those effects are and like what are the mechanisms. Even when we study gender-based violence or like domestic violence, usually people would just say that, oh, it's a cultural thing, something that is under because of the culture here, which is very loosely defined. So yeah, I guess our team also start our project because we really want to have a more concrete view of topics that keeps popping up but never really get defined. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's very observant in many ways, and I think it's definitely very true that there needs to be greater understanding of just all of these intergenerational aspects to trauma, and also to understand that risk and resilience from a developmental perspective, and to recognize that there is a place and an origin of these kinds of things, and that there is, and through science and through research, we have a means of leveraging those evidence to reduce health disparities, to improve mental health outcomes. And I think it's, and that's really in service of why we do what we do. So we unfortunately don't have a lot more time for questions, but obviously many great conversations to get us started. So if you if you wouldn't mind being contacted by individuals in the audience, if the award winners could leave maybe their emails in the chat, that would be great. And then individuals interested in collaborating or interested in just generally reaching out for whatever can do so. So before we wrapped up, I did want to just take one group photo. So if those who are comfortable could just turn on their webcam and join us in this group photo so that we can remember today and the special moment that it celebrates, that would be wonderful. So I'll just give people maybe 1-2 minutes just to turn on their cam if they feel so inclined. No pressure whatsoever, though.
Yes, it's nice to see so many of you, especially since I know we're across multiple different time zones here. So it's nighttime some places.
Nighttime in some places, early mornings in others. So I'll just count to maybe 10 and then I will take the photo. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Thank you so much to everyone. Some concluding remarks. So I'm really happy to actually announce that we're actually in conversations with some funders right now, which may potentially soon fund the 2024 in-person conference in Southeast Asia, as well as the next round of award prizes. So if, for whatever reason you had submitted to this paper prize, but didn't win, there's still the opportunity for next time. And it would be wonderful to actually be in person and to actually see one another. So I'm really excited for that. And I would like to really, again, just extend my thanks again for everyone's presence here today. I'm reminded of one of the words of my dearest mentors, that while research questions that bring us to our field of study, it is because of the people that we stay. The opportunities to work and collaborate together and to boldly envision a stronger future for mental health and psychosocial support in Southeast Asia is a precious one, and truly a rare one that I don't want to undervalue. And I thank you for working with us to build such a vibrant interdisciplinary home in Southeast Asia for myself, for Dr. Leslie, Dr. Thane, the people here, and the generations to come. So thank you so much. Have a good night. And please do watch out for our many upcoming events as we continue to build out this initiative together. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yes, thank you. And congratulations again.
Big congratulations.